Health rocks. Inspired to be substance free.
We're now ready to start our third chapter of our Health Rocks program. And this chapter is all about you. We, as mentors and leaders, will be working with you to give you the tools that you need to work through this time of transition in adolescence. During this time, you are moving from childhood to adulthood. You're making leaps and bounds in your physical growth, thinking, and other skills. Changes during this time can bring about new friends and shifts in existing relationships. For example, you may be becoming increasingly independent and may depend less on adults and turn more toward your friends. This is a perfectly normal time in your life when you want to spend less time with your parents and more time with your peers. Unfortunately, this is also a time when the risk of tobacco, alcohol, and other drug use begins to surface. Well, as we have learned in past weeks, the number of youth that have major problems with drug or alcohol abuse are relatively small. However, many teens can become stressed and easily swayed during this time, which makes them more vulnerable to various risk-taking behaviors. I'd like to share with you a small video clip of my daughter. Now, just to give you some background on this video clip, she was out in the front yard working on her back tuck. Before I got my phone out to start recording her, she had already been in the front yard working for, maybe 15 minutes, and she just wasn't getting it. Her brother watched out the window and decided to go out and help her, and that's when I started recording, when he was helping her. You'll see in the video that she's struggling. She kept on going. I didn't record the whole thing. I only recorded a very small snippet of it, but she continued to work. I will say she never got it by herself that day, but she has continued to work. This is self-efficacy. This is that thinking that you are going to be able to do something if you keep working at it. Let's go ahead and watch that clip. Brotherly love right here. She's been out there working and working and working. Jesse's helping her out now. Have you ever tried something new and had difficulty doing it? Think about when you learned to ride a bike, swim, or maybe even read. None of these things you were able to do right away. All of these things took time and practice. What would you have if you had given up when it was hard? Where would you be today if you had not worked through that difficult phase and persevered to success? That being said, how do you feel when you have a very difficult task and can't do it? For example, your math teacher gives you a tough algebra problem and asks you to solve it. What do you do? Why? Do you give up? Do you work through? Do you ask somebody else for help? When you are not able to succeed in doing something, are you willing to try it again? Are you willing to give that effort to keep going and going until you reach success? If you see someone else do that task successfully and see how it is done, will you give it a try then? This is all part of self-efficacy, which is that belief in your ability to accomplish goals, to be able to do something, or to be able to act on something. All of us want to be successful. When we're successful, we feel good and we have the ability to resist unhealthy behaviors. When a person has high levels of self-esteem, they are more likely to be strong and resilient. Research shows that youth raised by parents who help them develop self-awareness and who have a high self-esteem are less likely to engage in destructive behaviors such as underage drinking or drug abuse. Now, I have mentioned self-efficacy briefly. I would like to explain a little bit more about what that is. As I stated, self-efficacy is defined as one's belief in the ability to accomplish goals, to be able to do something, or to be able to act on something. We all have the ability to affect the self-efficacy of people around us. It's the responsibility of all of us to build up, encourage, and support each other. As a group in Health Rocks, we're here for each other. We have talked about trust teams. This is essentially what we are. Within this program, we should all be one big trust team. We should be there for each other. What you learn here, you are encouraged to take home with you. Use these skills with your friends and your family. Make it a goal to be positive each day. Make it a goal to lift someone up each day. This can be as simple as telling someone that you like their smile, or maybe their shirt, or their haircut. Maybe you just need to say hello. It's time to take responsibility for ourselves, as well as taking responsibility for those around us. So as we move forward through this chapter of Health Rocks, we're going to be learning how to take responsibility for ourselves, how to build up our self-esteem, as well as build up the self-esteem of those around us. We're also going to be learning some tips on how to deal with stress.